Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, 𝖢𝖥𝖣yi, head currency analyst. In this video, I'm going to take you through the week ahead. We're going to look at some news coming up as well as some charts of interest. So we're going to kick it off with the news. Actually quite a light, high impact trading week considering what we had last week. Obviously, the end of last week, we saw NFP data out of the US, which came in below 200k for the first time this year, and it caused the dollar to sell off a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see if that dollar weakness continues going into this week or whether we see a little bit of a reversal to that. In terms of dollar data, we do have some important stuff coming up. We've got the CPI data month on month, year on year, as well as the core CPI, which is what I'm going to be keeping my eye on to see whether we get a 0.2%, which is forecast, or whether we see any kind of figures that either miss or come in higher than the 0.2%. If it comes in higher, it could be a little bit of a sticking point for the Federal Reserve. If it comes in lower, it could be a good thing in terms of where the Fed want to be in terms of pausing those interest rates. We also have unemployment claims coming up this week with a forecast to actually see unemployment claims rise from 227k to 231. That could be quite interesting as well because obviously the Fed want to see the loosening of that labour market. We have GDP coming out of the UK as well. GDP looking to grow from minus 0.1% to 0.2%. So that could be a bit of a problem for the Bank of England. They are looking to increase interest rates further to try and bring inflation down in the UK at the moment. They are tackling that, but still inflation very high in the UK. GDP figures growing will basically put a bit of pressure on the Bank of England to continue hiking interest rates further. We then finish the week off with core CPI data and some consumer sentiment. So we have core PPI forecast to grow from 0.1% to 0.2% and PPI month on month to grow as well. So dollar's going to have a little bit of a mixed week, I feel. And if we head over to the strength meter, we can see that the dollar's actually one of the strongest currencies at the moment, if not the strongest currency. Had a good week last week, considering, although we did get a bit of a pullback on Friday. Another currency that did quite well as well was the Canadian dollar. Yen had a bit of a poor time, although it did start to strengthen towards the end of the week. Moving on to the dollar index. We are in that sort of pullback phase. That's why it's still technically a strong currency at the moment. Although, if we were to look at it from a weekly point of view, we have sort of an impulse phase, a retracement phase, impulse phase, retracement phase. We're still technically making lower lows and lower highs here, and we're currently resting at the 102 handle at the moment. So if price trades through that 102, maybe even trades through this trend line support that I've placed in here as well, it could signal that the dollar could continue to push to the downside here. A break above 103 would be more in favour of the buyers, and the market may try and take these highs going into next week. Although if we look at it from that sort of weekly perspective, there is more opportunity, I feel, to see a little bit more of a downward pressure on the US dollar at this current moment in time. Moving on to Euro US dollar then. So Euro dollar back down towards that prior high level at the moment. We've found some support back in this area at the 1.0950. Very similar to the dollar index though. I've got that trend line resistance coming in. Price has tapped into the resistance and rejected it at the moment, but I think if price trades through that, trades through these highs over here at the 1.1075, it's going to give some confidence to the buyers in the market, and we could see maybe a move back to the 1.1250. A break below the 1.0950, I think we're going to trade lower, perhaps towards that 1.0825. Kiwi dollars then. Kiwi dollar on the radar. Strength meter showing us that the Kiwi is one of the weakest currencies, dollar one of the strongest. Naturally, we'd look at this market to see if it could continue to break to the downside. Now, we did discuss Kiwi dollar last week, and I want to see price, if it was going to continue lower, I want to see another weekly bearish close below this 0.61 handle. I think if we got that, it could open up for a move to trade to the downside, working within this almost bearish channel. But there is a couple of narratives here with Kiwi US dollar. Not only do we have that bearish channel in here, we have this range going on as well between the 0.61 and the 0.6375. So if we get a bullish rejection in here, maybe the dollar weakens, we get a bit of risk on back in the markets, then there could be a potential to find range lows here and Kiwi dollar to head back to the upside. That's why I think if I was going to be bearish on this market, I would need to see another bearish weekly close next week to give us the confidence that price may want to trade back down to the bearish channel low. Finally then, on gold, you can see we've actually found some support back at this trendline support through here, and price bounced off it most recently. So being a little bit cautious on gold, but I think if we did get any kind of dollar weakness and price maybe rallied, maybe even taken out this high of last week, or even this sort of open of last week, that could be quite interesting to see. I like gold prices above 1980. I think if we trade above 1980, that'd give us more confidence and price could potentially come back into those swing highs. Alternatively, a breakdown would mean a move back down to that $18.90 level. But I think at the moment we are finding support at that trendline support, so the market's favouring a little bit more upside here at this current moment in time. Thanks for watching this video update. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel to see some more of our Forex trading content, and I'll speak to you in the next video.